Hey there, it's Matt Cook. In this video, I'm going to go into a bit of depth about sciatica. Okay, so sciatica is a pretty severe problem. I'll start off with just the physical symptom description. You'll have your sciatic nerve, which pops out of your spine at the lower vertebrae and then travels through your buttock area and then down kind of the back of your leg. And that nerve is in some way squeezed at times or all the time. So people will report that that right at the base of their spine, at those lower lumbar and sacral vertebrae, that it feels like the nerve is being really squeezed by the vertebrae. And that's not fiction, because you can go and get a scan and you can go, well, look, that vertebrae is literally pushing on the nerve. Wow. Okay. And then you'll have other descriptions where the sciatic nerve is being kind of like squeezed in the buttock area. Okay. A lot of people talk about this piriformis syndrome. They say that the piriformis can press on the sciatic nerve. And then all down the leg, the theory is that the sciatic nerve can be entrapped by different muscles and fascia and can be squeezed and irritated. Okay? So the general theory there being that sciatic nerve is there, some structures in your body are squeezing on it, and that's why it hurts. And therefore, the theory to stop sciatica, if you're talking about the lower vertebrae, it would be some sort of like chiropractic adjustment to reposition the vertebrae. Or if you go really haywire, it would be to like cut your vertebrae or like remove a vertebrae or like even maybe like hold the vertebrae in place with like pins or something like that to prevent it moving into a location where it's going to push on the nerve. Okay? And then if you've got this more muscular type, then the theory would be, well, it's because the muscles are tight. So we need to stretch the muscles so that the muscles become long and not short and squeezing. And then they'll release and then they won't squeeze on the nerve, right? Or it could be that, okay, well, there must be adhesions. The muscles are physically like stuck in particular places and they're not moving, and the nerve is whatever being, messed with by the muscles and their adhesions, and then we need to remove the adhesions. Remove the adhesions and then the problem goes away, right? Well, that action, all those actions are so simple, right? Like how easy is it to do a stretch? How easy is it to go like this and remove an adhesion? How easy is it to do a chiropractic adjustment? Okay, these are all completely simple. Okay, and yet you look out to what's happening and people are doing these methods repeat on repeat on repeat on repeat all the time. Just like, oh, I've got to go and get another chiropractic adjustment. I'm going to the masseuse today. I'm going to the masseur today. I need to go to my yoga class, like again, like for their whole lifetimes. Like, yeah, I still got sciatica, okay? Okay, so this is kind of like the current situation that I want to set as the premise, and just suggest like some new theories that kind of like expand that so it's not so limited. And because if you believe in that theory, you are not going to recover, because there is no room for recovery there, because it's just not a wide enough theory. It doesn't address enough reference in reality for you to make a recovery. So you will, when you look around at all the choices that are available to you, you will not find something that you can do to recover. Okay? So what I'm about to tell you is not the generalized truth of sciatica, okay? Because sciatica, your sciatica, comes from your life, okay? And your sciatica has formed in a way that is completely foreign to anyone else and it's completely foreign to me. Okay? I'm going to be talking about some concepts that might point you in the right direction to the right events and things in your life that might have to do with your sciatica. But just keep in mind that even like what I say might not completely line up with your experience of life. So just use what I say to just generate ideas for you to look around your own life. Okay? So to begin understanding sciatica, you need to understand, I'm just going to turn the air conditioner on because it's just so hot in here. You need to understand that sciatica cannot be understood purely physically. Okay, it's not possible to understand sciatica just by thinking about bones and vertebrae and muscles and nerves and stuff like that. To understand sciatica, you have to go beyond the physical, okay? Metaphysical, beyond. Metaphysical, beyond physical, okay? So we need to look at your mind, we need to look at your emotions, we need to look at your memories, we need to look at your past experiences, okay? We need to look at how your conscious awareness is working, okay? We need to look at like your spirituality, we need to look at your beliefs about reality, we need to look at your identity, all sorts of things like that to begin to get to this sciatica, okay? So in German new medicine, which is not in my opinion the authority on sciatica, but they have weighed in on it, they say that this type of sciatica where the vertebrae is actually pushing directly on the nerve, they say that this is a central, just be ready for this by the way, I might shock you a bit, so just like hold on tight to hear this, okay? They say that this is like a central devaluation conflict, okay? Because you have to think here, your lower spine is right at your foundation, okay? It's like right at the center of your being, okay? So it is such a primary part of you, okay? It's like the base of your spine is like holding you up and your basic support in all of life, okay? So the mental, biological, mind-body conflicts that you experience that are related to this part of your body are at the deepest part of your existence and of your mind or of your consciousness, okay? So these self-devaluation conflicts are like, your who you are in the world and whether that's like a good thing and whether you like it. Like if you don't like you or if you don't like your life, then you can get sciatica, okay? Because it's like the anger and the fear that you're going to experience in a universe in which you feel that like you don't belong or you are not good enough for the world or something like that, or you feel like the entire universe is bad because of your unfair position in the world or something like that. It's like crossing the lines between like an identity conflict, an existential conflict, a self-devaluation conflict. Then you're gonna get this tension, okay, right at the base of your spine, okay? That's just how kind of like the body, the mind-body thing works, right? There's different parts of the body that pair up with different, different conflicts because it's just like almost like a metaphorical relationship, okay? In the way that it works for you. So there's one idea for you for that type of sciatica. Now, let's move on to this kind of like other muscular and nerve entrapment sciatica, okay? So the sciatic nerve goes all the way down the leg, all right? It's just like, it's involved with so many, like the sciatic nerve is involved with every single action of the leg, okay? Now neurologist or a physiotherapist will say, well, according to this textbook, it says that the sciatic nerve doesn't innervate this particular muscle and it's only these. It's like all the leg muscles work together. Okay, so all the nerves in the leg work together. Okay, like the entire leg is influenced by the sciatic nerve. Okay, so in the same way that I spoke about the spine, I can now speak about the leg. So if you have conflicts with your legs, then you can get this kind of like secondary degree sciatica, you might call it. Like directly at the spine, you know, you could call that first degree sciatica. And then at the legs, you might call that second degree sciatica. However, a second degree sciatica can still cause an influence at the spine because muscular tensions, you know, wrap around your body in a very complex pattern that's not really even predictable. You know, you could say you could go and look at the book Anatomy Trains and you might get an idea of what the tensions look like, but it's still not going to be completely correct or predictable using that model. So by Newton's third law, every force has an equal and opposite reaction, reactive force. You know, if you've got some tension in one part of your leg, then that tension can't just be localized, right? Like that tension has to go around the body in some sort of loop until it comes back to itself. There's no other way for it to exist, okay? Like it can't just be a tension that just goes somewhere, because the only end point a tensional pull can have is back on itself. Okay, like I don't know if you understand like the physics and engineering of that, but that's just how it's got to be, right? So, you know, all these tensional lines, they're going to wrap through your lower back, right? Like everything just wraps through your lower back. Almost every single pain that you feel in your body is going to in some way wrap through your lower back. And if you go metaphysical again on that, that makes a lot of sense, because it just means that every single conflict that you have related to anything all basically ties back to, you know, basic conflicts like devaluation conflicts, identity conflicts, existential conflicts, etc. Okay? So all the muscles in your leg, any sort of like problem, unresolved conflict, contradiction, irrationality, repressed emotion, pain, whatever you want to call all that stuff, engrams, whatever you want to say, anything that's manifesting in the leg is going to have some sort of contribution to a sciatic disturbance, okay, to a sciatic pain. Okay, so basically what I've told you there is that sciatica is caused by both primary first degree conflicts and second degree conflicts, especially ones that manifest in the legs. Okay? So if you have conflicts about your feet or your ankles or your knees or your butt or anything like that, if you have physical injuries have come there and you've devalued yourself because of your injuries, or you tie your legs into your, you know, identity, or if your legs have become weak and, you know, you feel like you can't get around the world anymore and, you know, your life is not good because of your legs and stuff like that. You know, that's one type of conflict. And then just any sort of experience that you've had in life where you looked out at something and it had something to do with a leg is going to put an engram into your leg, right? It's going to put a conflict and a disturbance, a psychosomatic disturbance into your leg. And that's going to manifest with a corresponding muscular tension that is going to have an impact on your sciatica, okay? So, I think I've said enough about this conflict stuff. You just have all these tensions and conflicts and pains in your legs and spine that have a physical component and a muscular tension and a, you know, mental consciousness, identity, whatever, pairing, you know, up here somewhere, okay? So the next question will be, well, how do you treat that? Okay, well, there's two parts. Something I love in German New Medicine, they say, is that resolving any conflict, resolving any problem requires a spiritual component and a practical component, right? And that to me means that any solution is going to require you to actually do some physical movement, some physical exercise, and it's going to have you introspect into your mind, analyze the structure of your mind, and analyze your character, figure out what's wrong about your convictions, and smooth them out. Like, look into the chaos of all the irrationality that's in your mind and all the negative thoughts that you've pumped in there over your lifetime, and smooth it all out, right? And the reason why I think that the stuff that I teach is so good is because, you know, we've said all that stuff about description of causes and symptoms and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, the stuff that I teach is movements where you're doing these movements calmly, consciously, in a deliberate way, and introspecting into your mind at the exact same time. Okay? So it's in line with what Gurdjieff called the fourth way, whereas, you know, he said, you know, some people try to do everything mentally. Some people try to do everything emotionally. Some people try to do everything physically. Okay? He said those three ways are weak separately. A strong solution, which is 1,000 times better, is the fourth way, which is physical, mental and emotional, all at the same time. And conscious movement, which is described in my book, and it's all through my courses, the Back Pain Miracle, Sciatica course, etc. It's all specific movements that you do for your target area, your target pain, with guidance how to introspect on the problems you're experiencing so that you can simultaneously have that practical solution and that mental solution or spiritual solution, you know, going together, okay? So you don't have to go off and do meditation or see a psychologist over here and then go to a physiotherapist or the gym over here. No, it's like bringing it all together and doing very conscious, aware movements and introspecting simultaneously. So it's very effective, right? It's very, very effective. And it helps you solve sciatica. Like it's obvious, right? Because like you're so present to all your conflicts, and you're so present to your joints and muscles, and you're changing the ways then that your muscles and joints work, and your nervous system is going through some sort of like reprogramming kind of thing, and you're sorting out the mental stuff that's related to your sciatica all at once. Okay, so it's not like something, you know, you see on the internet. Some people are like, ooh, here's some stupid move that you can do for 5 seconds and it fixes your sciatica. It's not like that, okay? Like if you ever want to fix sciatica, it's going to require you to make a commitment that you're going to, you know, for the next at least 6 months or a year or 5 years or something like that, that you're going to work with these specific movements and, you know, do a lot of introspection around the conflicts that are causing your pain, okay? But it does work, and it's really the only way that works. Like, I don't mean that as just like my way's the best. I just mean like, what thing could possibly work except something where you're dealing with your mental conflicts and the physical manifestations of those conflicts at the same time? It's just obvious that it just works better than anything else, okay? So, okay, if you want to start doing these movements, if you want to start doing, you know, the exact same movements that I did to get rid of my sciatica and just completely fix my legs and get my back, you know, just wonderful to the point where I can do taekwondo and ballet reasonably well. I'm not like a black belt, but I'm pretty decent. Just look in the description below this video. It'll be the first link you see. Go over, take a look at these sciatica movements. You know, just take a look at them, make sure that they're at your level. They probably are, because they're designed to be very simple for people who are in pain, people who have limited mobility, people who are older, people who have low willpower, low energy. So they're really the ideal movements. Just take a look at them, make sure you think they're right for you, and just start. Okay, just pick up the course, just go for it. You know, today can be the day where you really start to get rid of this sciatica and just move into a better pain-free life, okay? So enjoy. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.